What is going on, my friends? How the heck are you? Welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast. I am in my truck driving home from a long trip. It's been over 5 days long. I think 5, yeah. 5 full days of just travel. And I apologize for the background noise, but I got a long drive to get from the airport to my house, and I want to make sure I get a podcast out, and I'm inspired, and I'm on fire, and I'm so excited for the future. I'm so excited for the possibilities, and you should be too. And what I want to talk to you about real quick is, what is your why? And I don't think I go deep enough on this. But here's the issue, is that when I talk to people individually, and I do this in real life all the time too. Like, I'll be on an airplane and someone's like, what do you do? And I kind of explain, well, it's kind of hard to explain what I do actually. I'm like, well, I have a software company and I have this educational company called Automate, Grow, Sell, and I help small businesses. And like, and they dig deeper. Finally, they figure out I help people learn how to automate, grow, and build sellable companies, and kind of everything in between. And then they get interested in, and if they're a small business owner, they'll ask me questions about business. And the first question I ask pretty much anybody when I first talk to them, or even if you're in the Automate, Grow, Sell bootcamp, the very first module is, what is your why? What is your mountaintop? What do you want? Well, the issue is probably the same issue with many areas in our business and our life, is that we gloss over stuff. We go surface level. And when I meet people who are doing massive things, making huge change in the world, that have achieved great results, they don't really go surface level with really anything. In fact, they go so deep, it blows my mind. Like last week when I saw Peng Joon, right? It's like, the guy, he grew up in Malaysia, and he made like no money, and he did good in school until he got to college, and he did bad, and he was going to wind up in debt, making $400 or $500 a month. That's like what you make in Malaysia, right? And the guy makes over $10 million a year online, and he has for like a long time. This isn't like a fluke. How the heck did he do that? Well, because he doesn't go surface level. So, for example, if you want to become a better public speaker, you can join like a Toastmasters. I've heard that's a good organization. You can go to like a Dale Carnegie training, and you can learn how to persuade people and talk to people, and do some brain hacks to get good at speaking. And that's all awesome, but that's not even close to enough to do what Peng Joon does. And after really hearing him lay everything out, what became very clear is how obsessed he was with the minutia of what he does. And, I think we have to do that. Like, you got to start with something, and the purpose of this isn't to overwhelm you, but I just want to tell you the truth. Like, overachievers, they're not good at stuff. They're not great at stuff. They're better than great at stuff. Unless they got lucky, which is a very small percentage of people. Like the people that, like Russell Brunson, for example, he's obsessed. I mean, he is. He spent so much time. And back to your why, when I ask people, what's your why? They don't know. And then, so I work with people, and sometimes they struggle with motivation or staying inspired. And, I do too. But the way to fix that is to always revisit your purpose, your why. Why are you doing this stuff? A lot of people, when they start a small business, they're actually running away from something rather than towards something. I want you to let that little mind bomb sink in for a second, because that's a huge, huge just nugget right there. Are you moving away from pain, or you were moving towards your destiny, towards your vision for your life, right? Maybe you had a boss that was terrible, and you thought he was dumb, and you said, screw this, I'm going to start my own business, right? And that's not bad, but it's hard to achieve a high level of success when you're moving away from something that you don't want, rather than moving towards something that you do want. I've told this story 1,000 times on this podcast, but I'll say it again. I asked my sister what kind of guy she wanted to marry years ago, and this was like my first eyeball moment, like my first brain awakening moment to this concept was way back then, because she couldn't tell me what she wanted. She only told me what she didn't want. She said, I don't want someone that is lazy. I don't want someone that is messy. I don't want someone that smokes weed. I don't want, and I'm like, Jess, how in the world are you going to get what you want when you only know what you don't want, right? Same thing's true with your business. So here's a little exercise that's going to help you as a practical tip. And Russell talks about this in the book Expert Secrets, and it's really powerful. So let's say that I were to ask you right now, what do you want for your business? What's your why? What's your vision for your business? you might answer something like, well, I want to get to six crews. And then, what I'll do is I'll say, why? Why do you think 6 crews is going to do anything for you? And then you say, well, once we get 6 crews, then I don't have to be in the field and we'll have more money. Okay, why do you want to have more money? Why do you not want to be in the field? Well, I don't want to be in the field because blah, blah, blah. Well, why? And then you answer that, and I say, why? And what ends up happening when you follow this rabbit trail all the way to its core, there's really only a couple of reasons that most of us want anything. And it's either has to do with love or has to do with status. So there's something inside you that you don't want to reveal, or maybe you have never even consciously dug deep enough in yourself to figure it out. But if you go deep enough, you're going to find out either you're trying to prove something to somebody, you're trying to show that you're worthy of being loved, or you're like, you want to increase your status. Like it's important for you to not have that life that your parents had, or break that generational poverty or something. There's going to be something there that's actually a really heavy emotional thing. Because at the end of the day, 10 out of 10 people die, right? And whether we think about it all the time or not, our subconscious, we know that 10 out of 10 people die. And there's a desire in all of us to do something big and do something great, but you either have to step into that and face it, or you're going to have to find a way to medicate yourself from thinking about it. And medicating yourself from thinking about it can take a lot of different forms. It can mean you get caught up in meaningless hobbies that produce no value for your life. It means that you know more about NASCAR, or about professional golfers, or about NFL than you know about yourself or your vision for your future. It can mean that you drink yourself to sleep every night, or that you're smoking dope, or that you're into whatever. Humans are constantly fighting. You either step into the pain and live the adventure that you're supposed to live, or you'll create your own adventure and kind of self-sabotage yourself, or numb or medicate yourself. And I know that's a little heavy for a quick talk episode, but I've been thinking about that today because for me, I'm trying to get back on fire for my original why. Because when it comes to motivation, that is the thing that gets you out of bed when you don't want to get out of bed. That is the thing that gets you to put in the work when you don't feel like it. The beliefs that you have in your heart about yourself and about your future are the things that are going to control the behavior of your hands. And so if your productivity is horrible and you're not feeling it and you're just not, sorry, there's construction. I was in the zone of inspiration. I hit the little rumbly strips. But if you're not producing, there's a root cause for it. And I'm willing to bet that if you revisit your why, or just discover it for the first time, what are you really trying to do and why are you trying to do it, right? We need to find that out so you can accept it and kind of digest it, and then start moving towards it and get excited about it. Here's more rumble strips. All right. Anyway, I hope that's valuable to you guys. I care so much about this podcast and everybody that listens to it. I care about your kids. I care about your marriage. All this stuff matters, man. It matters big time. And, if you guys haven't done so, there's this really cool video on YouTube. And someone took a bunch of jelly beans and they put one jelly bean on this floor for every day in an average human's life of 76 years or whatever. And then they said you spend this many jelly beans sleeping, and this other amount of jelly beans, driving to and from work, and this other amount, going to the bathroom, and this other amount having a hobby, and this other amount at work, which is a huge amount, right? And at the end of the video, there's this tiny little itty bitty bit left. And the question is what are you going to do with what you got left? So don't medicate yourself. Don't numb yourself to your calling, to your purpose. It doesn't matter if it scares you. At least start acknowledging the truth of it so you can start getting comfortable hanging out with it. Some of you guys know that you're called for a lot more than a local home service business. You know that you're destined for something big. And if you're one of those people, you're getting emotional even as I say that right now. You know that you know, but you're holding back on step 1. You're holding back on what needs to get done today. And you can't go to level 4 professionally until you've successfully completed level 1, 2, and 3. You can't go to level 73 until you've done all the levels before that. You have to go through the fire, figure it out, and get better. You cannot go surface level with all the issues and challenges in your business. You have to go deep and become a ninja master, and it takes work. But it's okay, because you can do it. And when you don't think you can do it, just listen to the Quick Talk, and then you'll feel like you can do it again. So anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I'm kind of losing my voice from all this talking and traveling and stuff. But I'll talk to you tomorrow. I appreciate you very, very much. Take care. God bless.